If you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering how to grow your legs in a more effective way. You might be struggling to grow your legs, you might already have good legs and you're just looking to pick up some tips. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve, if there's something around growing your legs in general, stay to the end of this video, it's gonna help. So I'm gonna take you through my exact lower B session, teach you setups of particular exercises, cues, things that I've learned over the past 8 to 9 years of training and coaching hundreds of clients grow their legs, improve their physique. There's going to be a lot of value in this one. I'm going to take you through everything that's going on up here, whether that is based on accuracy, intensity, how to lay out your logbook, how to track numbers, everything you need to know, everything that's going on up here. Like I said, this is the session I'm going to be doing. As you can see, a bit of a curveball in there. I start with arm work. Arms is a priority for me. Legs are a bit of a strong body part for me, so we throw in some arm work. I've also got a specific arm day, so my split currently is arms, rest, upper, lower, rest, upper, lower, back to the start. Enough of the fucking waffling, let's get into the gym and get after it. A little bit of chewing gum. Let's fucking get after it.
So like I said, we kick things off with arms. If you've got a priority muscle group, hit it early, hit it hard. 1 myo rep set here, both on bis and then tries. So start with the incline dumbbell curl. I'm gonna do 1 set, take it to 1 rep in reserve, take 5 breaths, go again, take 5 breaths, go again. And I do 3 mini sets after that first straight set. So that is 1 myo rep set, okay? So that's allowing me to condense down a lot of effective reps in a shorter period of time. And then I do the same thing with a tricep extension as well. And that's it. And then we get onto the leg work. So with the incline dumbbell curl, by the way, if you're looking for the leg part, just skip past this, but I'm gonna walk through cues and everything as I would with the leg stuff as well. So with the incline dumbbell curl, set the bench about 3 notches down from upright, bottom part of the seat tilted up as well. And I'm gonna allow my arms just to naturally rest where they want to. My upper arm is gonna be slightly behind my torso or my spine. From there, I'm not gonna lock my elbow out of the bottom, very slight bend, but I want a full stretch on the bicep. And then from here, keep my upper arm still and just bend at the elbow. And I'm stopping just before my hand comes over my elbow joint. As soon as that hand comes over the elbow joint, there's no tension on the bicep anymore. So there's not much point coming to that range of motion. So I'm gonna stop just before that, come back down, make sure I get a good stretch on the bicep. Last time I got this weight for 9, but I'm not chasing numbers here. I'm focusing on good execution, high effort every single rep, and wherever the reps land, they land. As soon as you start chasing numbers, that's where your form tends to go to shit. So good execution, good quality, and over time, the numbers will go up. We'll wrap up. Just 5 deep breaths. So you can see with those subsequent mini sets, I'm able to crank out like an additional 2 to 3 reps. But because I'm already very close to failure, my muscles are already fatigued, all of those reps that I am getting in those mini sets are deemed effective reps, the ones that are going to stimulate muscle growth. Are they as effective as straight sets? Who knows, but it's a great way to condense down a good amount of quality work that's requiring you to apply yourself to a high level in a shorter period of time. Onto the tricep work, so classic long rope tricep extension. If your gym doesn't have a long rope like this, you can use 2 shorter ropes, but the benefit of doing that is you can get a better range of motion. So the problem with using a shorter rope is, if I was to use a shorter rope, for example, my hands were here, right? You'd have to kind of like extend down like this. But what I want to do is have my upper arm back here slightly more. which is gonna help me get the triceps into a more contracted position. So if I had my hands back here and I try to come down, this rope hits my chest. So that's where you get the benefit of the long rope, where you can have your elbows further back and still get all the way down without the rope hitting your torso. And then for me, the goal is to get as much elbow bend as possible without the elbow traveling forward. So that's my top position. And all I'm doing from here is contracting the tricep, extend all the way down. Full elbow bend, elbow still, and down. And you can see that I'm hinging forward slightly and my upper arm is in line with the direction that the cable is traveling in. Just pivoting around that elbow joint. Simple. So from here, couple of steps back, bend the knee slightly, push the bum out, hinge forwards, and then to start, pull the elbows back and extend down. Another key tip with this is don't let your shoulders shrug up and down. Very easy to do this sort of thing. Keep your shoulders down. And again, you're just pivoting around the elbow joint. Rep up, lovely. The same again now. 5 deep breaths, then we go again. Now we're moving on to the leg work. So standing calf raise up first. Thing is, man, like, you think it takes time, but when you've got a plan that works for you, it's cost effective and doesn't take you much time to prep, you'd be surprised. It doesn't have to be some sort of like fucking gourmet style meal. Something that's easy to slap together.
Chuck it in there,
exactly, man. Yeah. Like you could do a full week's worth of meal prep in about 2 hours probably. You know, and when you put it like that, 2 hours.
Yeah. I'm looking at getting one of those big fucking like ninjas, you know, they throw your vegetables like that.
Slow cooker, man. Slow cookers are so good.
Yeah.
And you can just find a recipe where you can just slap a load of chicken breasts in there, load of other veg and stuff, you leave it to cook, and then you just divvy it up into portions, and then you can just put them in the freezer. As and when you need it, you take it out, defrost it, eat it. But when the food is prepped in the freezer, you're gonna be way more likely to eat that rather than be like, oh, fuck it, I'll just order a takeaway or whatever. So for me, I've always done casts at the start of my sessions, early on. And it's a big reason why casts are a strong body part for me, you know, and that's why I'm now prioritizing arms at the start of my sessions as well. And to be honest, like putting casts at the start of a leg day doesn't really impact the work to follow. So if you want to grow your casts, again, put them at the start of your leg sessions or just put them at the start of your upper body sessions. But the goal for me here is to get as much ankle flexion as possible. So I'm going to continue moving that weight down or my heel down until I can't move it any further down. The most important part of this movement is that deep stretch. I'm coming up to the point where my foot is just breaking parallel. You don't need to come up as high as you can onto your big toe. It's just a bit overkill. The key with this is a deep stretch. Make sure your foot breaks parallel. You're sweet. The other thing with this movement, and not a lot of people think about, is this movement, the pads are trying to compress your spine, right? So if you're not braced in your midsection and your back is arched like this, you're not going to be as powerful or as explosive. So you got to make sure that your breathing and bracing's on point, you engage your core, and you keep a nice neutral spine. If you think of like a coiled spring, right? If that spring is straight, it's going to be a lot more it's going to be able to generate a lot more force up. The spring is like bent and coiled, like your spine in that position. It's not going to be as strong, if that makes sense. I don't know if that was a good analogy there, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. Next up, we've got the hip abductor, some fluff work, hitting our upper shelf. But, you know, glutes, hamstrings are a bit of a priority for me, and as has been a trend with the rest of this video, the muscles that are more of a priority go early in the session. What I do with this is I like a little bit of a forward lean, and also I extend my foot outside of the foot holder to really encourage me to drive through this leg pad here. That's where you should be putting all of your intent. A lot of people will dig their foot into the foot holder at the bottom when it comes to both this movement and the adductor, and they get a lot of assistance through their foot and the lower leg. So just by resting your heel on the end instead, you're really just kind of eliminating that. From here, I'm then shifting my hips back as far as they will go, and then just leaning forward at the hip. I'm not arching forward like this at the from my upper back, my thoracic spine. It's not doing anything. I need to lean forward from my hip, from my lumbar. There. Hold on to this. And then I'm thinking about dragging the weight out and pushing all of my intent through the pad. Hold in there. Slow, pause. So a really good cue with this is drag and hold. What a lot of people do is they'll throw it out like this and then kind of catch it there. You just want to come as wide as you can where you can hold it for a second. Make sure it's the muscle you're trying to train that's moving the weight and not other muscles. And yes, that may mean you're lifting less weight, but it also means that it is the muscle you're trying to train that's moving the weight from A to B. Just requires you to keep your ego in check a little bit. Something that I've had to do time and time again with myself, the more experience I get with lifting. But the more experience you get, the more you come to understand that it's not about how much weight you lift. It's about the quality and the intensity, those two things paired together. And then you just lift a suitable weight that allows you to keep that good quality and take a set to failure within a reasonable rep range. I think sweet spot is anywhere from like 5 to 15. I think you don't really need to go above 15. However, sometimes you do. If you've got a bit of like a joint niggle or something, you can benefit from doing higher rep work. But some people are just psychotic and like going over 15 reps. All right, so we're stacking this. Got it for 11 reps last time. We'll see where they land. $11 again. See, this is what I mean. Got to 11. In order for me to have got an extra rep there, I would have had to change my form based on the speed of that last rep. So I'm just happy with taking 11. No, I didn't progress, but sometimes you're not gonna progress, especially when it comes to taking an extra rep. Now the issue I'm running into with this machine is I've stacked it, so I can't add extra weight to it now. It's one of those flicky ones. I can't put a gym pin in it either. So I've just got to stick on 200 and progress that up. You know, I'll get to the point where I'm doing like 15, 20 reps on the first set, and then I might have to change when I do this exercise or do something else instead. I might do a glute medius kickback, or I might put the glute drive first or something like that, you know? Otherwise it's just gonna get ridiculous doing like 20 plus reps. We finally got a seated ham in this gym. So happy. And this is actually a really good one. Panata kit's a bit hit and miss for me. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's a bit average. Other times it's dog shit. I guess like with most pieces, other than Watson, they're all dog shit, except for the T-bar. Anyway, seated ham. Now, the only issue with this particular machine is you can't get much stretch in the top position. So what I personally do is lean forward, because the hamstring attaches at the knee and at the hip, right? So you can stretch it from two joints. You can stretch it by straightening your leg, but you can also stretch it by hinging at the hip, which is why the hamstrings get trained well in a hip hinging movement like an RDL or a stiff leg deadlift. Firstly, I set the seat so that my knee is in line with the axis of rotation. On here, it's labeled as joint center. And then I shift my hips back as far as they'll go, slight lean forward, And then I make sure that my lower back stays in contact with the back support. Again, I'm leaning forward at my lumbar, my lower back, not my thoracic. I'm not just doing this. I'm shifting my hips back and arching forward from my lower back, keeping that lower back in contact. And then from here, curl my toes up towards my shins. That helps me get a better connection with my hamstrings. Grab this, push into it, and then drag the heels down, hold at the bottom. Slow on the way up. Pause just before the waist side touches, drive down. Now, a mistake a lot of people make with this is they're so explosive with the concentric that their hips shoot forward and their lower back comes away from the pad. So basically what that means is you're getting some extension through the spine, so your lower back is coming into play and your glutes to some extent. So that's why I'm saying keep your lower back in contact with that pad throughout the entire range of motion. So it's really just the hamstrings doing the work. And again, you're probably not going to be able to lift as much weight or do as many reps, but it means that the muscle you're trying to lift the weight with is doing the work, not your glutes and lower back. Another good tip with this is get this leg pad down as hard as you can. By forcing your quads down, it's also going to help you get more stable and help you get a little bit more stretch in the hams in that top position. Might feel a bit uncomfortable at first, but you'll get used to it. Think of it like a deep tissue massage on your quads. All right, now we're locked in. Lean forward, push into the handle. Keep everything still. The only thing that's moving now is my lower leg. Yes. Beautiful, 8 reps. So you can see, with that last rep there, it was very slow, but it was still moving. I think a lot of you can really benefit from getting comfortable with letting your reps gradually slow down. That's what should happen, right? Just because your reps aren't moving at a certain speed doesn't mean that you change your form or you speed things up or that's the failure point. True failure is seeing a gradual decrease in rep speed as you get closer to the end of the set. As the muscle you're trying to train starts to fatigue, nothing should change. Just the speed of the concentric. That's exactly what happened there. The reps got slower and slower and slower. There's no way I could have got an extra rep there without changing my form. That is true mechanical failure. Another new machine in the gym, this Gym 80 leg extension, which is way better than the hammer strength one, by the way. Reason being is because you can get a much better range of motion on it. The limitation with most leg extensions is you can't get that much knee flexion, right? So again, the quad, the rectus femoris specifically, attaches at the hip joint and at the knee joint, so you can stretch it from both ends. You can stretch it from the knee, from bending your knee more. Stretch it at the hip by opening up your hip angle more. Now, I could put the seat all the way back here, but it doesn't feel that comfortable. So I have the seat upright, but then I'm also able to move this input pad quite far back in comparison to most leg extensions. So I'll just pull here, and if you use this specific leg extension, can get it in setting number 8. So I kind of just slam it back like that. And then from here, look how much knee bend I can get now. Bang, there, just before the pad touches. That's what I'm trying to do, get as much knee bend as possible. You'll notice for me as well, I'm also not coming into the fully locked out position, just because that part there just aggravates my knee a little bit. So I'm almost just doing lengthened partials on this. Pause in the stretch, contract the quad, stop just before the contracted position. Another thing I'm doing to help reduce aggravating my knee joint further is high reps. So lower weight, higher reps. It's working quite well. The last time, 117 for 12. Told you, high rep sets, they're brutal, but better for your joints. I think that was 13. It's either 13 or 14. When in doubt, take the lower number. All right, got a bit of a reset, but we're back. Memory card was almost full, so I had to quickly run home and get a new memory card. So luckily I live like 30 seconds around the corner. But that's commitment to the video. That doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what does. But anyway, hat squat. Coming late in the workout because again, quads are a strong part for me. Also, doing it at this stage has allowed me to get a lot of blood flow into my knees, which have caused me a lot of issues in the past. You know, I've had tendonitis in my right knee. I've currently got tendonitis a little bit in my left knee. It's getting better, but I've got to be careful. I can't be silly with loads. I can't be silly with rep speed. I've got to be precise and accurate, which you always should be, but it's really forced me to emphasize that even more, especially with quad-based movements. So you'll see with this weight, with this movement, I've stripped it right back, and I'm really focusing on making a lightweight feel as heavy as possible. I've lifted 4 plates on this machine before. Right now I'm doing 2. 4 to 5 seconds on the way down, 2 second pause in the stretch, not being as explosive on the concentric, and really like engaging my midsection as well. That is really, really important that a lot of people miss out on. Again, these pads are trying to compress your spine, so you've got to be braced here to generate more force and have more stability within your core. It's very important for your safety when lifting and your ability to generate force during a lift. So I'm also trying to keep full foot contact with this. On some movements, I allow my heel to elevate a little bit, but just to make sure that that's not causing my knee any aggro, I'm just keeping full foot pressure and maybe not getting as much depth as I could if my feet were to be a little bit lower and my heels were to come up a little bit as well. From here, back flat on the pad, and then blow the air out, brace my core, and almost push my lower back into the pad. Don't an arch back like this. Push the lower back into the pad. Neutral spine. And then what I do is take a large breath in during the eccentric, about here. Fully braced, hold the breath, full knee bend. 1, 2, contract the quads. And I exhale about there. Once I get past that sticking point in the rep and I know I'm gonna complete it, that's when I exhale. Let's get some weight on it. Okay, last time I did 90 kilos for 8 reps. Sorry, 90 kilos for 9 reps. So what I'm probably gonna do with this particular movement is build it up to 12 and then take a load progression. Before, I've always tried to add like just 1.25 kilos at a time, but instead I'm just gonna stick on the same weight and master that weight. Build it up to 12, however long that takes me, and then take a load progression. So I'm not adding load, and my joints just can't keep up with that. I think that's the mistake I've made in the past, which is why I keep running back into getting knee pain. So there's nothing wrong with just sticking on the same load for a period of time and just slowly progressing the reps up. It is harder to do that, but it means that you can just like really master and solidify that weight before earning the right to take a load progression. So goal here is 10, of course, minimum.
Love was, it's just another stranger. Every time I feel you close to me, feeling like you're falling way too deep. Just another night of losing sleep. I need you now. Hear the echoes of the words, they're stuck inside my brain. So continue taking love.
10. Lovely. So that was maybe quicker than I expected. as in got up to 12 quicker than I expected. But now, like I said, I've earned the right to take that low progression next time I do this. Really nice clean set. And I think it's probably 3 reps up just because it's a little bit more explosive with that concentric than last time. But knees felt really good there, so very happy with that set, very happy. You know, something that's very important as well that gets overlooked a lot is cardio in your off season. The fact I can actually talk to the camera right now is a testament to my fitness levels. Yes, I'm out of breath, but it's a long set. And if you want to do high rep sets or just be able to apply yourself to all of your sets, you need a good level of fitness. I've run into this issue in the past where you're doing something like a Bulgarian split squat set or just a very high demanding exercise and you end up gassing out before bringing the muscle to failure. So if you want to be able to train effectively, you've got to have a good level of base fitness. So keeping some form of cardio in year round, it's not just essential for that, but also for cardiovascular health as well. So for me, I do 60 minutes a week at the moment, heart rate average 140 to 150. And I split it up, so I do 10 minutes after my upper sessions, 20 minutes on rest days. I fucking hate doing cardio, to be honest. So splitting it up like that, so I don't have to do large bouts, works well for me. Set 2. See what we can do. Rhymer. Should have been a rapper, mate, I tell ya. Here we go. Composure. Turn. One more. Oh, motherfucker. 11. Which means one more set. So, with the training plan I'm doing, the way it works is, obviously I did 90 for 12. If on the second set, I only have a 1 rep drop off, which I did there, I got 11, I do a 3rd set. And the idea is you keep going until you see a 2 rep drop off from the first set. So I only stop doing sets on the hack until I get 10 reps or less. So if this next set I get another 11, I do a 4th set, which is brutal, but it's a good way of being a bit more fluid with your volume. Right, it just probably means that the muscle you're training is recovered enough to handle an extra set. When I say recovered enough, I mean from an overall fatigue standpoint during the session itself, but also from the last leg session I did. Really nice set though. Very happy with that. Last one of the day. This is a glute drive, the soul taker, I like to call it. So last time I did 190 for 9. Now I want to take 192.5. Try and match reps. If there's an extra rep there, I'll take it. Goal with this is hip extension, right? A lot of people tend to use too much quad, too much hamstring. It's a glute exercise, right? So in terms of setup, position your feet so that as you come into the top position, your knee creates a 90-degree angle. That's likely where you're going to be using the glutes to their fullest in that top position. Come down to the point where you notice your knee starts to travel backwards, stop just before that. And a good cue to think about as you're coming into that contracted position is thinking about like scooping your hips up, tilting the pelvis almost. I like to have my feet just outside of hip width, toes turned outwards slightly. Make sure this belt is as tight as you can get. And you kind of want it sitting in like the crease of your hip, where it feels comfortable. Pull the slack across, pull it really tight. And then from here, create a little bit of pressure on the belt before you actually lift up. So I just shimmy myself up a little bit, nice bit of pressure on the belt there. hold on to the handle, keep my chin on my chest looking forward. And again, all circulates around your breathing. Your breathing is so important on every exercise that you do. So control your breathing, you control your rep speed, you stay composed, and you're gonna be able to take your sets to failure a lot more consistently. Nine reps, come on. Lovely set, man, lovely set. You know, I used to really find this movement challenging, but I feel like now that I've really honed in the form, it doesn't feel as demanding because I'm lifting less weight, but the muscle I'm trying to use is the one that's lifting the weight. I've put, again, similar to a hack, I've had like 230 on this before. This is 192.5, like I said, and the stimulus on my glutes feels far greater. And it doesn't fuck me as much either, because I think it's more targeted, it's more specific where I'm placing the tension, rather than turning it into like a full body exercise. That's my thought process. Ladies and gents, it's the last set of the day. If you've made it this far, fair play. And if you have made it this far, and you're getting some value, feel free to drop a like, it helps me out a lot. Anyway, let's see if we can get 7 to 8. My glutes better be fucking dug out on stage next year after all of this thrusting. If not, I'll take the other thrusting benefits, if you know what I mean. Oh no. Fucking hell, I can't talk. That last one weren't moving. You see that to get it up, I just used a load of quad to get it up there and pulled on the handles hard for 7. Now wrap things up. Do a little outro later on. I need to run home now, get a quick meal in me. Then I'm back here in about 8 minutes for a PT.
Just wrapping up the edit for this one, people. If you've enjoyed it, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. If you are new around here, my name's Jan. I'm an online coach and personal trainer, amateur bodybuilder. I mean, I've competed once, so I don't even know if you can call me an amateur bodybuilder, but I will be competing again. So I like to call myself a bodybuilder. I help all types of people, lifestyle, photoshoot prep, competition prep, whatever your goal is. If it's some sort of a physique-based goal, I'm your man. And if you are interested in coaching, there's going to be links down below to apply. You can book in a free call just to have a bit of a chat with me, see if you're going to be a good fit for the team, because spaces are limited. If you want to just ask questions without jumping on a call, you can message me on Instagram. Again, all links will be down below. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot of value out of this one. If you did and you want to see a different session, I do uppers and then an arms. So you've got 2 options there. Let me know. Or the other leg session. Let me know if you want to see that. Drop a comment down below. Weekly YouTube videos are hopefully coming. I'm not going to make a promise, but I'm going to try and keep on top of them, because I do enjoy making them. It's just finding the time. But the love and support is always appreciated. So be sure to like, subscribe. And if you got this far, fair play. I will catch you in the next one. See ya.